Howdy, Internet students. This is Mr. Hermanson helping you out with the Objective 1.2a, which is knowing how to calculate slope. And there's going to be two ways that we calculate slope. Make sure you have this quiz 1.1 and 1.2 available to follow along. You can get that online if you need it. Otherwise, it should be in your notebook. We want to think about two things when we're finding slope. Slope is rise divided by run, or rise over run, the ratio of rise to run. And the other way that we've learned that we can find slope is finding the difference between the y values for the rise and the difference between the x values for the run. So that little formula there. Okay. On number one, we want the slope of the belt here. So we want to know what number represents that slope. Okay. Now, because the direction is up and to the right, we know that it's a positive slope. And then we're just going to use the rise over run for this one. Okay. So if you look closely, you'll notice that the rise is this length of this line, which is 8 feet. And the run is the length of this line, which is 20 feet. So our rise over our run is 8 over 20, which is, we can simplify that to 2/5. You could write that as a decimal also, but because we want to try and understand this as rise over run, we're going to leave it as a fraction for now. Okay. In 1994, school lunch at Rockville High School was $1.20. In 1999, the cost increased to $2.25. Find the annual rate of change. Rate of change is actually another way of saying slope in the price for school lunch from 1994 to 1999. So just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. So like we're going from like 1994 to 1999, and think of this as like a timeline here. So the price in 1994 was this amount, which is $1.20. So we're going from $1.20, and then to 1999, the price went up, and it's now $2.25. So really what we want here, this line represents the price going up. We really want to know the rise and run here. To do this, we're going to use the slope formula. We're going to subtract the y's. And from the graph, you can see that I'm going to call the prices the y's. And that makes sense, because usually the x-axis time goes from left to right, and it's usually on the x-axis. So my y values are $1.20 and $2.25 is my other y value. So I'm going to subtract those, $2.25 minus $1.20. And then my x values are my years, these two numbers. So I'm going to do 1999 minus 1994. And that gives me $1.05. My change in price is $1.05, and that occurs over 5 years, what I get when I subtract for 2 years. And if you want to simplify that a little more, you can. What that means, $1.05 divided by 5 is 21 cents per year increase. All right? On the third one, we're going to find the slope of the line through the points 5, 6, and 6, -4. I'm going to show you two ways to do that. We could go ahead and graph those points, the point 5, 6 being right there, and the point 6, -4 right there. And then I could draw the line in. I know that wasn't a super straight line, but then I'm going to find the rise and the run. The rise is the distance from here to there, which is 10, and the run is the distance from there to there, which is 1. Now, since the line is flowing down to the right, it's a negative, so my slope by rise over run is negative 10 over 1. The other way I can do it, and it wouldn't hurt just to check, is I'm going to use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so here's my y's, my 6 and negative 4, so I'm going to do 6 minus negative 4, and then my x's are the 5 and the 6, so I'm going to do 5 minus 6. Notice I did this y minus this y, so I'm going to do this x minus this x, the same direction. And when I do that, I get 10 over negative 1, which is the same as this. If you want to simplify that to negative 10, because any number divided by 1 is just that number, that's fine. All right, let's do one more here. We want to find the slope of the line created by the values in the table. Now remember that if we graph these points, all 4 of these points, since it's linear, they would line up. So we really just need a rise and a run. And the way you can get a rise and a run is just by, like we did in the other one, subtract 2 y's to get the rise, subtract 2 x's to get the run. So I'm just going to pick these 2 y's and do 16 minus 13. And I'm going to pick these 2 x's, do 17 minus 15, and just simplify that. 16 minus 13 is 3, 17 minus 15 is 2, so my slope is 3 over 2, which if you want to change that to a decimal, you can, like 1.5. So, all right, I hope that helps. We'll see you soon.